Good afternoon, Year 4. Today you have computing and German. As mentioned earlier, German is with Mr. Wanford. I made the slides for you to go by and the planning, and I have planned for you to do a bit of a fun activity at the end. So enjoy that, and I look forward to seeing hopefully some pictures or a video of you enjoying that game. Starting with computing, our new focus is all about the web and HTML editing. So what can you tell me about the web? One important thing to note here is that the web and the internet are actually different things. Okay, so take a couple of minutes to think exactly about what the web is, and then move on to the next slide. Some key vocab that we're going to be covering over this unit, some of it today. We have code, HTML, HTTP, hyperlink, tag, URL, and web page. Some of those you may know a lot about already. Some of those you've heard of but don't really understand. And some may be completely new and you haven't got a clue what they mean. And that's fine. Hopefully by the end of the unit, you will know what they mean. So our new topic is called We Are HTML Editors. What could that mean? What could be involved in this unit? Pause it for a minute and brainstorm some ideas. So HTML, this is one of our key vocab words, stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Sounds quite confusing at first, I know, but we will unpick these terms as we go through the unit. We basically know HTML as hyperlinks and coding. It's all the little bits of information that when put together give us our web pages, give us the internet, that we can just click by click access the new pages without having to look at all the little details to get us to those pages. Okay? Before that, I have an e-safety question for you, and it's really important. It's always important, e-safety, but particularly now that you're doing a lot of your learning from home, using the internet to access these videos and do some research. So we will be doing an e-safety scenario at the beginning of every computing video, okay? So scenario 3 I've picked for today. You've been playing an online game and someone you don't know asked to be your friend. What do you do? Okay, pause the video here for a minute or two. Can you think of 2 or 3 things that you would do in response to this happening? You're playing an online game and someone you don't know asked to be your friend. Okay, so first of all, you should only be friends with people who you know. You can tell an adult that someone is trying to add you as a friend, even though you don't know them. This is important because that particular user might have had a complaint 3 or 4 times now, so someone might start looking into that issue. Remind yourself that sadly, sometimes people pretend to be someone else on the internet, and it's quite easy for them to do that sometimes. They might put up a different profile picture of someone who's not them. They'll try and become your friend and be really kind and friendly and ask about you and say they're the same age, maybe the same gender, same interests and hobbies. Unfortunately, they try to trick people who are vulnerable on the internet. I know it's a scary thing to think about and talk about, but it's really important that we know that. Only play games where you can chat to people you know. You don't need to go onto the big forums or take off your microphone if you're on a big server game. One thing you could do is simply leave and start another game. Leave that party, create a new party. Make sure you're only in the party with people that you absolutely know. If you're not very confident, get your parents and carers to contact your friends' parents and then add them to make sure that that's definitely the correct username. Okay? There's lots of other things you could do as well. If you want to send me anything that you think I may have missed, any more ideas you have in response to this scenario, please do so. Really important note for parents and carers, please make sure you have settings and parental control over your child's laptop or iPad or computer or any device that they're using, because we'll be using the internet at home for lots of research and tasks. So please ensure they can only access safe and suitable sites. If you're unsure of how to put those parental controls on, drop me an email and I'll give you a step-by-step guide of how to do that on your child's device. It only takes a couple of minutes and it's really, really important, as you will be aware. So when we use the web, we simply open up the internet, usually Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, and these are search engines. We use these search engines like Google or Yahoo to find things on the internet. Easy. We type it in, it clicks on it, and we go straight to where we need to go to. Well, that's just because it's been made easy for us. People create these hyperlinks, they create these little codes, and they're called tags. And for us, we can just type something in and jump straight to where we need to go to. But actually, in order for someone to do that, we have to do lots of little codes, put lots of little information in to make it easy for us. A bit like when you use Scratch. And when we just play the game or we create our own game, it's easy for us just to click the mouse or click the space bar to shoot. But we know that when we make our own Scratch games and activities, we have to click lots of different activities. It might be rotate 30 for your character if a question is answered wrong. If a question is correct, it might be shoot the basketball into the hoop. All those little things build up to the bigger picture to make it easier to play or to access the internet and different websites. So let's look at an example of this on the next slide. It will look confusing at first, but as the weeks go on, we'll break down what these tags are, what these HTMLs are, and they'll start to make a little bit more sense, hopefully. So this is what it actually looks like. So for us to go onto Google, all of this has to happen. All of these little strands, the little, what we call tags. Every time you see a pair of these, almost like open bracket and close bracket, that is a new tag. So we've got one tag here, another tag, another tag. We have tags down here, okay? And they are the small strands that build up our link. When we go on Google, that's all we do. We type in Google and that's what comes up. As you can see here, how many Champions Leagues have Tottenham won is what I've put into Google. I didn't need to Google that because I know they haven't won any, unlike Chelsea. However, that is as simple as it is for us. Google, type something in. My next page will give me lots of different websites to click on and read more. Watch some videos, perhaps see some images, perhaps. Okay? So, what do the tags actually mean? If you have a look here, it gives you a breakdown. You can read them all. You don't need to remember them all yet. We'll look at them step by step as the weeks go on when we do some of our HTML editing. But let me just read a couple of examples. So the one where it says title, so this one here or here, this element specifies a title for the HTML page, which is shown in the browser's title bar or in the Pages tab. So if you click on Amazon, at the top in the search bar, it will have somewhere in there Amazon. If you type in BBC, somewhere it would have BBC in that top search bar. Okay? We have lots of small different ones. Actually, if there's a large chunk of writing, the code, the tag that would need to be used is P within these like pointed bracket looking things, okay? So that element defines that there's a paragraph. We don't need to fully understand this yet. We will develop an understanding as we proceed in this unit. Basically, all of these tags represent a small piece to the puzzle, They're little puzzle pieces that eventually, when put together, build the puzzle and let us access different web pages on the internet in just one click. Unless you live in Berryfields, where it sometimes takes minutes to upload on the internet, as I'm rapidly finding out. Just to finish off then, quick vocabulary check. What have we found out today? We found out that about coding. We know about coding already, so let's recap that one. Coding is a collection of words or letters or symbols or instructions which form a greater set of instructions for the bigger picture. HTML means hypertext markup language, and that is the code used to structure a web page. And a web page at the bottom here is information displayed on the World Wide Web. I just want to unpick the difference of the internet and the web. So the web is one specific page that you will be looking at, but you have used the internet to get to that page. Okay? So you've used the internet search engine Google to find a specific page on the web. That is a web page. Okay? Tag, this was our big one for today. This is a keyword linked to a specific piece of information. Okay, these are the ones we just looked at. I'm going to go back a second. These are all of our tags. Okay, so the body or the title, and it represents an image or a paragraph or the title of the web browser. And finally, a hyperlink. I'll show you some examples I can't show you on this particular program, but a hyperlink is where we literally click on the link and it takes me straight to the internet and to a specific web page. We'll look at that next week, most likely. Hopefully, you've learned one or two things about HTML today, and we'll build on that learning as we go ahead. Your task for the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, can you research the history of the web? You can present your fact file in any way you like, a poster, a PowerPoint presentation, someone can video what you found, you can draw a couple of things, it's entirely up to you. I've given you a few questions that you might want to include in your research. Who created the World Wide Web? Or who created the first computer? When were both of those things invented? When were they created? What is the most played game on the web? What game was it 10 years ago when you were born? And there's a bit of a challenge X there. Can you, on your poster somewhere, on your presentation somewhere, explain the difference between the web and the internet? I hope you enjoy learning about the web because it is really interesting and we only get to see the easy way of using the web. You guys are going to be able to see how you actually create the different web pages and how you edit them too. Enjoy the game that you're going to be playing in German. Have a lovely afternoon, Year 4. Bye-bye.